stories at the bench?
Let's hold real quick. Before we go too fast, let me tell you my time period. From 79 to 82, I was at the bench, at the writer's bench, almost every single day. That was my place of duty when I woke up in the morning. If I wasn't going straight to a money rack or a paint rack, and even if I was, that was usually the meeting place. I was at the bench almost every day, but you don't hear my name, but that's okay. Let's go.
And if you started in 76, even, okay, let's say 77, 78. What happened to Butch and Case? They was always at the bench. TMT was always at the bench. But, okay, let's roll it.
They chopped them off and made that a layup. So I've seen that the progress of that particular station. It's just, it was really 2 blocks away from my house.
From inception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have any stories at the bench?
Well, during the battle, the wars with the Cap and MPC, I was at the bench, and I just happened to move from the bench and go up the steps and look at the trains from the overpass. You can see through the overpass, not really what's the pieces that are going, but if somebody's in between the cars. Train pulled in, and the bench is basically at the last 2 cars. Really near the last car, but the 2 cars of 10-car train. And I'm looking down, I see somebody, it's white, red hair, and they have a shotgun and they're facing it at the bench. So that was the story. I was like, whoa, if I was down at the bench, I might have caught it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what were your peak years on the subway?
I'd have to say from 80 to 82. I would say 79 because I did a lot of tagging. But for those years as a tagging and piecing.
Okay.
For someone that started in 76, how are your peak years 80 to 82?
So you took 3 years to peak. Okay.
All right, let's go.
I know you have a few great stories. Tell us your favorite.
Raid story he's asking for. Listen carefully. A raid story.
He's rubbing his temple, rubbing his forehead.
Okay. I was riding on the D train, Bedford Hills, Bedford Park. I was by myself.
Of course you're by yourself. Can't be corroborated, but let's go on.
Night tagging in that line, and it was raining, storming.
It was a dark and stormy night again.
So you get a little more edgy because the rain takes away from what you can hear. So you start hallucinating or just like getting paranoid.
He must have been watching Shawshank
And
Redemption.
all of a sudden, I was hearing like doors closing. Boom. I don't see them. Keep tagging, but I'm like more cautious. Boom. I said, oh shit, somebody's in here. Now when you have trains in the yard, all the doors are open except the last and the first. So I run to I guess the front of the back. It doesn't really make a difference. And I was like, oh shit, this might be closed and trapped. Fortunately, it was open. The bad thing was, I jumped out. It's raining, and the third rail was not covered, and it had it's called clamp lights, where they use the lights to do work and let you know that the third rail is not covered. So in midair, I did like a flippity disco move with my feet and a vote.
He did a what, Skin?
He did a flippity disco move with his feet.
He did a what?
He did a flippity disco move with his feet.
Pointed that. But that sticks out in my second scare, not the scarcity of a raid, but how close I came to being fried.
Well, the man asked for a raid story, but it ended up with a flippity disco move. All right.
With the ball busters, and if so, what happened?
We did. It was me, Doze, and Juice. We were on the 1 train going downtown, and Doze was having some sort of argument with this girl. Now it was Big Mo and 2 of his henchmen. And Big Mo was like, "Look, how would you like if I fucking did that to you? We're ball busters. Me and my Big Mo. I don't give a fuck who you are. About no ball busters. We're Zulu." And my friend's like, "Shut the fuck up." Now these guys were big, they were. And I guess they were just so amused. I had all this fucking gumption, this fucking, that they was like, yo, he's too funny, let's just get out of here. Because if I juice it, I was like, do you know what you did? You could have really got us killed.
Okay, we're almost finished. Did you ever battle any other rider on the subway?
No. Yeah, there was always battles, but offhand, oh my God. I really can't give you a name because it's more like situations. Sound might remember. So my memory is very bad because I've just been so
Man, this guy's memory is horrible. Get him some ginkgo biloba, man. Listen, hold that right there. Listen, the question is simple. See, this is what happens when you just making stuff up. See, sometimes it's okay to say, nah, I didn't battle nobody. Or, yeah, I battled somebody, but all this, I don't remember, I don't recall, and Sound 7 might know, and this guy might know. Yo, it's a simple question. Did you battle somebody?
No, you didn't.
Right? You did or you didn't. And if you did, what's his name? What's the cost? So we can see the photos. It's real simple. Get him some ginkgo biloba, man.
Okay, speaking of battles, let's talk about the TC5 and TMT battles a few years back. Who came up with that and how did it come about?
That came about because of...
He said, who came up with it?
And he was saying something, I was saying something. And he said, look, why don't we just, battle? We have a battle with the crews. I'm like, yo, let's do it.
Okay,
Let's hold right there. I don't like talking in vague irregularities. He said the question was posed to him, how did the TMT, who came up with the TMT versus TC5 battles? He goes on to him and Hob, and then he finally spits it out. Oh, well, it was something between me and Scheme. I said something, and then he said something. Yo, forget all that he said, I think. What happened was I addressed with Scene, and I asked him, yo, why you let your man Doze write in this book that I bit my characters from him? Right? When anybody can clearly see, number one, as most of you know, I was drawing myself. Doze looks nothing like that or my characters. So how on earth did I bite my characters from Doze? That's number one. Number two, at that time, while we were standing in the back of Tough City, I offered everybody back there. I said, I give anybody $100 who can show me any photos of any Doze pieces with any characters that look like mine. And of course, I still got my $100 in my pocket because it doesn't exist, right? There's a book called Mascots and Mugs or something like that. And in the book, I don't know why, Doze writes in the book, Scheme won't admit this, but he got his characters from me. And the evidence that he provides is a bunch of drawing. Now, not train pieces, right? Not pieces that he did, the cards that he did with characters. It's a bunch of drawings that he did with no date on them, right? And on top of that, it still don't even look like my characters. It's these so-called Muggsy things that he's naming. That's not what we call them. They're called characters, not Muggsies, all right? Now, maybe what he drew, that's called Muggsies, but that's not the generic name for the characters that we use. But the bottom line, this is how the battle started, right? Because it was a discussion over style, this, that, and the third, and biting, and me being accused of biting, right? So when I saw that in the book, yo, I was heated because I never bit anything from Doze, all right? First of all, I did over 100 pieces, and man, maybe I'll give Doze, I'll give him 10. I'm gonna give him 10. Maybe if one of my eyes ain't working good, maybe I missed another 10, so I'll give him 20. But I did over 100 pieces, he might have did 20, and out of those 20, there are no such characters that look like mine whatsoever.
But how did the battle start? How was that arranged between?
Because I just got tired of listening to him basically making excuses for Doze, and I said, well, yo, let's just battle then, right? And that's how it started, just like that.
All right, let's keep it going.
We won the battle because we're better.
Let's rewind that.
We'll take it back a few.
They said, look, why don't we just, battle? We have a battle with the crews. I'm like, yo, let's do it.
Okay, who do you think won the battles and why?
We won the battle because we're better.
Well, I'm glad he's laughing, because that's a joke.
That we go by
The rules?
yes. There was a contract, and somebody violated that contract.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have
So he's saying that they're better than us and we cheated pretty much. You want to address that? Cheating
Well, okay, let's talk about the better then, because somewhere in there he said, well, you know, I think we'll get to it. Oh, well, you know, TMT, you know, they had first of all, let me tell you something. I have the distinction of being one of only of 4 people. That's EC3, EN005, Mr. Mean, and myself is the only 4 people who have the distinction of belonging to both TMT and TNT, right? So what we're talking about is style in a time period when TMT, the Magnificent Team, was running the 2s and 5s. TNT was barely hanging on. As a matter of fact, this is why they got Case involved, because none of them could not piece, right? They could not piece. TNT members, for the most part, could not piece. They were inside bombers. Q, LC, Fade, even Agent, right? These were inside bombers, right? So they went and enlisted the aid of Case 2 as an answer to Chain 3, Cade, Repel, all the nasty people that belong to TMT, style writers. They went and got Case 2. And so my point is, if you talking, let's go back to the train era. If you talking about the train era, TNT could not even hold a candle to TMT. So you cannot possibly be talking about back then, because you had to go get somebody from the Fantastic Partners, right, to bring up to raise the TNT piecing level up, and which I did my part later on with pieces that I did with you seen as well, and with Agent as well for TNT. But let's come to the future for TNT for TMT versus TC5. Kate, you want to talk about the battle?
I don't really have much to say about the battle. As far as the cheating part, I don't know what he's talking about. We did do a lot of cars, and I'm not gonna be a hater like most people that try not to mention the 3-letter word TMT like some people did even with this video. They did have some cars that was decent, I would say, but as far as letter-wise, they couldn't mess with us with those cars. We could maybe even towards the end of this video, we could possibly pull up some of those cars so other people could look at them and judge the cars.
Yeah.
Were all of they cars whack or whatever? I'm not gonna say who's better than what. I'd rather for people to be the judge of my work and of my crew's work as to who burnt who and what cars came out better, so forth and so off. I won't say, you know, we're better than, or use an excuse to say, oh, they cheated. I don't have to do that. We could just go 1 for 1. And for another thing, to act like, you know, TMT didn't put in that work, I probably have more pieces on the trains than Scene and every crew member in TC5. Me by myself. That's not speaking for Scheme, that's not speaking for Chain, that's not speaking for anybody else in the crew, just me alone.
I can echo that. I definitely, by myself, have more pieces, more train pieces. I'm talking about New York City train pieces than everybody in TC5 put together. Okay, I did over 100 train pieces, right? But you know what? King Cade is a little more diplomatic than me, and he's the president, so he has to maintain a certain, report. I do not, right? So let's keep it 100. Let me tell you how the battle started. The battle started with me versus Scene at the Red Bull Studios, where I peeled you off the train. Okay, where I peeled you off the car. Not only did I peel your infantile piece off of the car, Scene, you had 3 people doing your piece for you. Fade did the entire character, which was whack, by the way. Fade did the entire character, and Doc and Dash struggled to come behind you in your trap moment where Dad says, I can't leave him alone for 5 minutes or else he'll mess up the piece. That's you. Okay, you had 3 people do your piece for you, so let's keep it 100. This is how the battle started out, with me roasting you, Scene, off of the car, and you know, I was going to be real quiet about this because I saw what you did in the interview. When you were interviewed about the piece, you tried to play it off. You said, oh, and the guy's interviewing you about the battle. You said, well, this is not really a battle. It's just a demonstration. And if you seen a scheme with a little more style, and I decided to do a more simplistic, no, you got burnt. Okay, you got burnt, you got roasted, you got scorched. All right. So let's talk about that right there. That's how the battle started. Now, I will echo what King K said. As far as I was concerned, first of all, it was fun for me. We was going, and I want to make something else clear while we're here. Let me tell you why this is sad. Because I enjoy a good relationship with a lot of them TC5 cats, right? I like this dudes in there. I like, I part, and I'm not gonna say they right. I'm not gonna front, and I'm not gonna say their names because I don't want somebody to say, oh, you kicking it with Scheme or whatever, right? And this ain't that serious, right? So yeah, there's a lot of TC5 cats that I parlay with. This is not personal. Let me tell you why this is sad. See, this is sad because you dragged your crew into this when you said, yeah, we're better than them. What you should have said was, I'm better than them. And let me tell you something about graffiti crews. It is one of the pillars of graffiti writing that the president is the best person in the crew, not the worst. Okay? So you are president of TC5, but you one of the worst, if not the worst person, the worst painter in the crew. Okay? So, if we want to keep things straight, let's tell it all. You opened up the Pandora's box. I'm right here to hold it open. All right, I just want to address this part about the cheating, right? Let me tell you something. I wasn't even going to be up in arms about none of this until you said during the battle we cheated, right? Now, that's a serious accusation right there, we cheated. Let's talk about the cheating. First of all, it wasn't cheating. What happened was we had two wayward, hard-headed members who, that's true, they wasn't following the rules. And the rule that they wasn't following that y'all were complaining about, and I agreed with it, but it had nothing to do with cheating. What happened was they would paint the car, and then under the car they were writing captions talking what to y'all, and you didn't like it. And I agreed, I felt that just like you did. I agreed that any smack talking should be done within the confines of the car as part of the production. You can say what you want, keep it classy, but you can say what you want, but in the car. But what they were doing was being knuckleheads and writing crap under the car, right? And we agreed, I said, okay, we're gonna talk to them, but these dudes is hard-headed, which is why they got the, they got the leather shuttle bus, right?
No longer
members, right? But it was not cheating. Yeah, they didn't follow the rules, but they didn't cheat. When you say out here to people we cheated, people might be thinking, well, what did they do? Did they use projectors? Did they get people who wasn't in the crew to paint for them? No, we didn't cheat. We had people that didn't follow the rules. But let's go deeper, because you're still not telling the truth. That's not why the battle ended. The battle ended. Is anybody know the TMT versus TC5 battle? The first part of the battle was 2 or 3 man cars versus 2 man cars. The second half was 1-on-1. And when I turned in the list to your vice president, which was Doc/Arab at the time, the first 1-on-1 matchup was you versus Cade. Okay, it was the president versus president, and when Doc saw that, they said, we ain't got a chance. We got to figure out a way to get out of this because Scene can't paint. All right, and that's why the battle was stopped, because when they saw the 1-on-1 matchups had Chain 3 versus Doc, Chain would have peeled Doc off of the car. When they saw those 1-on-1s, they was like, yo, we ain't gonna make it, right? Right? And I'm not even gonna sit here. I was looking forward to my battle with Dash because I like Dash and I like the way he paints. And truth be told, at that time, I think he would have got me, but luckily we didn't. We ain't gotta find out, right? Now may be a different story. But let me tell you, I was looking forward to painting with Dash because it's about style and all of these things. For me, for us, it wasn't hate and all of these things. For me, it was a chance to let's kick some life back into the culture. But let's keep it 100. Y'all quit. Y'all quit when we passed you the 1-on-1 list, and the first matchup was Scene versus Cade, president versus president, and they knew you didn't stand a chance and quit.
All right, let's listen to some more.
Any stories from the Ghost Yard?
There was, okay, we were setting up me, Case, I don't know if Fade was there, and Pink. Man, we just got into the Ghost Yard, and we're trying to find a train to piece. All of a sudden, I hear boom, 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 with cats running on top of the train, which riders would do. All right, so they come down. We left the paint in the back of a train, like in between, but in the back, in the two-car seat. And I really don't want to mention names, but it was some cats from TMT.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because he doesn't.
Don't say their names though.
Yeah, he doesn't want to mention any names of who these TMT members are, which I basically know who you're referring to, and maybe one or two may have been a TMT member, and maybe another may have been a Ball Buster member. But let's hear the story, and then we could elaborate a little more on it.
And snatched up the bag and said, "Yo, what you doing with my paint? Yo, this is our paint. Yo, Case."
Check that part out. When his bag of paint was taken from him, he yells for Case. Now this is the man that yelled at these Ball Busters, a little earlier in the video, talking about how much mouth he had and that he was Zulu. Why you didn't say that to these TMT members that grabbed your paint?
These guys think that this is their paint. What? Who thinks that this is their paint? Case walks over. They're still in the train. We're in the bottom because we're trying to find a car to piece on, so we're checking out which one is best. Had the side door open. Case says, "Yo, man, put the fucking paint back." And one guy, the guy I was talking to had a shotgun. He was pointing at Case. Case grabbed it and said, "Get that shit fucking out of my face." And just pulled it.
Okay, I gotta stop it there. If these TMT members are inside the train with a shotgun pointed outside at the train at them, and they're on the ground level, if I'm hearing this right, maybe I'm getting a little old, but if you're on the ground level, how is Case reaching up to grab a shotgun when somebody's standing up inside of the train and you're on the ground level of the train?
It's confusing because at some point, it sounded like maybe Case was in the train. Maybe Case was up there in the train. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, let's let it rock.
So that's one of the stories that stick out because that man had so much heart. It's incredible. Because you don't meet too many people gonna grab a fucking shotgun.
Okay, let's hold right here.
And if he grabbed the shotgun, what did he do with the shotgun once grabbed?
I am the magnificent, 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 magnificent,